Hello my friends, this is Wolfgang with Tools for Ascension, and my gift to you today is this video about prosperity. First I will talk about the ideas and concepts around prosperity, and then we will do a guided meditation. So, prosperity, we all want it, and there never seems to be enough of it. And when we have it, we get used to it and may lose our appreciation. So, what is prosperity and what are the life lessons around us? Because in my experience, in most cases, once a life lesson is learned, the associated problem goes away. Well, first of all, in the Google dictionary, prosperity is synonymous with success, profitability, affluence, wealth, opulence, luxury, the good life, good fortune, ease, plenty, comfort, security, etc. And the opposite is hardship. And so without hardship, could you really enjoy prosperity or even know that the idea exists in this world of duality? Well, the movies and the media and the advertisement, those people, they tell you their idea of prosperity, and that is life on steroids. They have makeup artists and set designers and, and the actors work out and have all kinds of surgery. And so the goal of what is prosperity has been raised to, the idea is hang it high, so high that nobody can ever get it. So that is the special glamour that Hollywood creates. Now, for me, prosperity is, having nice kids, partner, good looks, food, health, enjoyable employment, friends, joy, and peace. And pretty much any or every animal would probably agree with this and have that for itself, though they don't have employment. They don't have to worry about that. Now, the yogic idea of prosperity in different dimensions, they call them lokas in the Vedic scriptures. They always show the yogis, living by a pond, covered with lotus flowers, and there are deer around grazing peacefully, birds chirping, joyful, beautiful melodies. There are fragrant flowers around and a soft breeze, and there is a simple hut. So basically, this is chilling with nature. And also, there are probably breatharians, otherwise such a lifestyle cannot be maintained. Now, Gautama Buddha had his prosperity to a great extent. First of all, he didn't even know how rich he was because he didn't see poverty. So, but he had the best riches, best sex. He had this concubine as a lover for many years, and and through experiencing all this, he could see that ultimately, it was not satisfying. That it was empty, you get used to it, and so he got detachment. And, the same with the hippie movement, it was a movement of non-materialism, and this came from kids that came from the middle class that had no problem with poverty, right? So the idea here is, once desires are fulfilled, then there can be true renunciation. But still, you came here to learn about prosperity. So now, probably all of us think that getting a lot of money is going to solve, our problems. And we all heard of this high suicide rate of lottery winners. Once the word gets out, everybody's going to hit you up for money to help them out, with this and that, and suddenly you may become responsible, for all those life-saving operations, of your relatives. Maybe you get lured into all kinds of business schemes and etc. So, or they just can suddenly indulge in all those expensive vices, which is also not good for you. Drink too much, or, there's a lot of things that we should not do too much or do not do at all. The good things in life are expensive, illegal, or immoral, right? So, if you have a lot of money, you have a different set of problems. Instead of worrying about paying the rent, you may worry about paying 2,000 factories workers of every week or every 2 weeks. Also on the spiritual side, lots of money can lead to personal pride, a sense of entitlement, feeling better than others, just being clueless of the struggle of the common folks, like single mothers, etc. And generally, it can lead to great emotional impoverishment too. And so Mother Teresa, after she visited New York, she said that she saw the greatest poverty among the rich. And I've seen this too, And a lot of great love I've seen, driving through the slums of India, the poorest of the poor, how they cherished and loved their kids. That was a great lesson for me. And, plus, if you're rich, consider the karma accumulated if the wealth was gained through predatory means. Yeah, I have seen quite some unhappy millionaires in my life. So now also, from another spiritual perspective, the desires, the fulfillment of wishes can bind us, to this material world, and distract us from the look inside, the their self, which leads the meditative view, which leads to actually enlightenment or expansion of awareness. Many see the material world as a distraction from this insight, and plus, desire. Again, so many wisdom stories show that there is no end to human desires. So that is one of the reasons why as many spiritual traditions looked for freedom. Mukti, called in Hinduism, through renunciation. Generally of material goods, wealth, many nuns and mendicants, did this. And the Vedic idea, included this, but there was also a higher form of renunciation, which, was not to be attached to one's material possessions, but to use them for the highest good. So kings were praised in those scriptures for walking away from their kingdoms, at a certain age, to go to the forest to reach enlightenment. And but please, before you even attempt doing something like this, please watch one of those survival shows, or be a perfect breatharian. Well, having no money can force humility, and ultimately dependence on the all-pervading consciousness of God. Or it can lead to a life of crime because you got nothing else to lose and you're desperate, or even alcoholism or other unwanted side effects. I once had an alcoholic in a session, and so in the past life you saw a life of poverty, and that person was a menial servant in a rich man's household. And then, it started dipping on the booze to take the edge off. And that didn't go good for a long time. And, well, in this lifetime, I was an alcoholic. So we asked the question from the high self, why did you plan a life like this? And the high self replied, well, we actually were expecting for this person to learn humility and have compassion for poor people, but we did not plan on alcoholism. So this can happen. Well, Francis of Assisi, the saint personified poverty as a queen of virtues, which is forcing on one to practice, all the other virtues, or you saw them as sisters of those virtues. Now, another big thing that you probably didn't hear of in any of the other prosperity meditations you probably already did is pious ghost. I call them pious ghosts. So with many clients, when I explore, blocks to prosperity, we generally find some ghosts from past lives that interfere. They can affect you telepathically or emotionally. They have ways to manipulate you or other people. And so we always found some nuns or monks, yogis, hermits, different tradition, but the idea was, that wealth is bad for you. And so they screwed this person's life up, So I had to preach to them and, ask for divinity, to preach to them and guide them into the heaven. And in generally, these beings are nice, very reasonable, they're saintly, but also very depressed most times, And when they're left, they were very happy, to be finally, going into the higher dimensions. And the clients in general feel a lot lighter, and the mood is brighter, and you can feel this right away when they're leaving. Another big effect that affects our prosperity, and we will cover this all in the guided meditation, but I'm just, familiarize you here with those ideas, are enemy ghosts. These are beings that did not ascend after their death, go to the next dimension. They stayed back to, because, maybe they're thinking, I ruin your life because you ruined my life in a past incarnation. Or because I don't like you, because I hate you, And again, they're affect you, others telepathically, give you bad ideas, inspire procrastination, and, affect the folks around you. And casting these ghosts out doesn't really help them. And many of them come back again, sneak back, or, still affect other people. And so it's much better to give them a higher perspective and then send them into their heaven. This is what I like to do. Now, another thing affecting our prosperity are curses, also thought forms, which basically were an ancient technology, that was used all the time and has quite an effect, as I can see from my sessions, and also from, that, curses and influence from ghosts, they're so common. And probably everybody watching this here, is affected by curses and ghosts. Just use a pendulum or kinesiology, and find out for yourself. You don't have to believe me. Now, another thing affecting us in our prosperity are binding spells. And basically, the spell or the effect is, that this thing has been cast in past life, and the effect is that you will work for them for little, or no money, support them in some way, give them money, or just basically become their bitch, and that just describes it the best. Now, modern society with their mass media, have ridiculed ghosts and magic, as a fantasy and superstition, and and that is a great misdirection, of humanity by its social engineers. Let me say it like this, because we really get so affected by this. But you find out for yourself. Now, in this guided meditation, you can do it two ways. One is, you go under and relax and let your intuition, your high self, give you the answer. And or you keep your eyes open and use the pendulum. Now, maybe you can quantify a lot better when you get a percentage pendulum, but I would not pay too much attention to percentages. And this is for people that do not get answers, that cannot connect with their subconscious or their higher conscious. Definitely the pendulum will help. Also, when I invoke those beings, and doing the meditation, please smile like an idiot. Because these are great beings and you should respect them, and the best respect you can give is a smile. A smile means I come in peace, I come in love. And also you will heal better, you will be of higher vibration. Everything will go better with a smile and with love. Okay. Now, in generally, I will work with free will. Because all the good beings there have to be asked, and before they can help, they do not interfere with our life. And you don't have to repeat my intent, just when you align with it, when you agree with it, or if you agree with it, just say amen, but mean it, It is your life, you have to mean it. I'm just holding space here. And so after you say amen, it takes about 2 seconds, and you might feel afterwards some tingling, maybe a presence, some cold or warm energy, goosebumps. Some people will see lights, entities, or feel energy move in their body. Some people will cry, and all these are signs that you had a lot of energy in this issue, and this is releasing and moving now and being transformed, and that's the good thing. And if you have to cry, oh my God, let it rip. You will feel so much lighter and better. So it's always good if you can break through to that hidden pain, that you couldn't get to. It's like, you find a hidden rat somewhere in the wall that has been stinking up the house, and now you find it and finally can get rid of it. It's kind of like this. Now, of course, please understand that this meditation is a shotgun approach. This means one size fits all, and it may have to be used several times. Probably effect is gradual. Probably most important is to get insight and to get cleared. And of course, having a private session is a lot more effective. Very reasonable priced. And so when you're in this guided meditation, do not judge those things that pop into your mind at this time, Take it with a naive perspective, like a child, face value. Later on, After the session, you can analyze it, think about it and rationalize. Otherwise, if you're doing it during the session, you go into the analytical mind, and you leave your intuitive mind, and then you just start to project yourself. Okay, so please, I advise you use earphones, or headbuds, earbuds. Isolate your sound, be undisturbed. Probably use an office chair where you can adjust the back so you're nice and straight and supported. It's very difficult to go into deep meditation when your back hurts. And now we close our eyes and kind of stack your spine so there is no tension anywhere. It's kind of in balance. Stack your head. You don't need any muscle anymore to keep it upright or in balance. Tuck your chin in a little bit and put your tongue up to the palate. And now we invite Mother Earth. She's smart, conscious, aware of all your incarnations. She loves you unconditionally. And so we ask her to nourish and love you with her energies, keep you grounded, protect you and guide you. And actually we are asking for the 5th dimensional Earth, the new Earth, the future Earth. If you don't trust this, just go for a normal 3-dimensional Earth. It's all Gaia, it's just different aspects, and the energy is quite different. So we ask for 5th dimensional Gaia to please come into us now. Amen. And we also invoke now Archangel Michael. I consider him the cup of the universe, but you may have other protectors, from different traditions. It doesn't matter. We invoke our divine protectors now. Amen. And we invoke our high self and the consciousness of the Milky Way galaxy, and Source, God, the supreme consciousness, supreme being, nothing higher than that, not some intermediary, supreme being. Now, amen. This starts feeling good, and smile, smile, smile. You are in the presence of true greatness, and now imagine that you extend, your roots from your spine and your legs or your thighs, depending how you're sitting, into the earth, like pyramid shape. Just go deep and deep and very, very deep. They kind of know where to go. And with a deep inhale, just draw her love into yourself. And you breathe so strong that you can hear the air flowing through your nostrils, just like this. And then when no more air goes out, you just exhale gradually. Center your stuff. Just imagine sending her your love with a smile through those roots, and then on the inhale just draw her love like you would draw like a nice juice through a straw. Draw it into your heart, and then you go back and forth and smile like an idiot. The sweeter the smile, the sweeter the love that can be transferred. The smiling is the most powerful mudra that I know, and pretty much nobody teaches it. Only like in Taoism, some people have the inner smile, but I think the outer smile is even more potent. Smile inside and outside. But that's just personal opinion. Try it out for yourself. So now focus on drawing Mother Earth's love into your body, into your heart, and on the exhale, just expand it like as if a sun is going out. It's going up in your heart. Just oh God. And enjoy this, yes. Now put your tongue up to the palate, make sure it's there, and now you start breathing in and out the top of the head. And basically you're imagining that above you is this big Milky Way galaxy, and which is a huge consciousness. For us it's very close to God consciousness. But it's biased, but it's just a stepping stone, so we connect to this through our crown. It also loves us, and it's supremely wise, and we draw its love into ourselves, into our heart. And on the exhale, we blow our love out the top of the head, and it goes in out like a fountain, going all the way into the center there. And you go back and forth, breathing all the way in, all the way out, and again, smile like an idiot. You are in the presence of a great, great, great being that loves you unconditionally. Imagine how rude this is not to smile. And get all that love into yourself. Very nice. And now we invite, our spirit guides that are working with us, the archangels, and even our star families that are in service to other self, the divine beings. We invite those to join us in our prosperity meditation, and we ask that everything that comes from this meditation is going to be for the highest good and divine harmony with the most benevolent outcomes. Okay. And now we start by invoking our high self. You might it's our higher consciousness. It can take all kinds of forms, and some of us will just feel its presence. So we ask for the presence of our high self now. Amen. And for some of you, this might be new, and you might just feel a light, a presence in front of you, or a lightness, a change in vibration. Some of you will maybe see a God form or an angel. The high self can take many symbolic forms to communicate its nature with you. It doesn't matter if you can see it or not, or feel it or not, and just imagine that it is in front of you, and on the inhale you draw its love into your heart, and on the exhale you send your love to its heart, or where your heart would be. They might not need a pump, but it's that location of love. And just get that going. This will harmonize us with our high self vibration. And now we ask the first question. These issues that we have with prosperity, how much is this due to our fear of having money? There could be different reasons, like fair weather friends, or maybe you were robbed in a lifetime, or you don't want all this responsibility, or you're afraid of corruption. All this is like fear of having money. So is this a lot with you, or is it medium, or is it just a very little? Ask now. Amen. And now we ask our high self and spirit guides and archangels, let's call them our team. We ask our team, even the Milky Way galaxy, or God, the source, they're all part of our team. So we ask them to please remove those fears of having money and guide us in using the money properly. Amen. And now we ask how much, still the idea of money is bad and the root of all evil in any other ways with us. There are many aspects to this idea. So is there a lot of it, medium, or just a little? Ask now. And now we ask our team to even transmute those thought forms and guide us in the highest aspect of how to use money in the right way. Amen. And now we ask how much vows of renunciation, to avoid materialism and entanglement, that would distract us from our meditations and spirituality, in the past. How much affected us, or how much are we affected by those vows in this lifetimes? A lot, medium, or just a little? And now we ask that those vows that are not helping us in this lifetime anymore, please be cancelled for our highest good in divine harmony with the most benevolent outcomes. Amen. And I thank our team so much for doing this work for us and for lifting those burdens up. Amen. And now we ask our team, or our high self, how much our prosperity is negatively affected by guilt, from past lifetimes when we did things wrong, and many of us, wanted suffering, to atone for that. Of course, there are much more potent way to atone than just suffering, like for instance, by doing good and helping. So the question again from our high self, how much is guilt affecting our prosperity? A lot, medium, or just a bit? And now we ask our team to please remove and transmute our guilt. And we forgive ourselves. We all make mistakes. And we vow to use our wealth and prosperity in a beneficial way. If we want to pay back, we can use it in a positive way from now on. Amen. And now we ask our high self how much our prosperity is affected by any self-sabotage programs that we placed into ourselves or that other beings placed into ourselves. Is it a lot, medium, or just a bit? And we ask our team now to please transmute this for us. Amen. You know how much our prosperity is affected by the way we value ourselves. You know, where we have a low self-esteem, or we think our, we don't deserve it. Maybe we didn't get hugged enough, or we were told we were bad and, useless. And there are a lot of reasons. But again, so how much is our money or prosperity affected by a low self-value? Big, medium, small. Amen. And we ask our team now to please transmute this for us. Amen. And to give us, the proper self-esteem. We are eternal, divine being, just residing in a human body. It doesn't matter what kind of human body, we are a divine being. Just because you drive maybe a junk car doesn't mean that you are not a worthy person, right? Very similar there. So please transmute this now. Amen. And of course, let us include into this a deep feeling of non-deserving. Amen. And thank you. And now we ask our high self how much our prosperity is getting affected by old contracts that we did in past lifetimes. Sometimes desperate people say, if you save my loved one, I will give you this, I will renounce this or that, or, vows of renunciation, there are a lot of contracts that can affect our wealth. So what is it? Big, medium, small? Amen. And now we ask our high self team to please cancel those contracts because they are interfering with much higher values nowadays. Amen, 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 amen. And now we ask our high self, how much is our prosperity affected by all contracts that are coming through the family lines that are still affecting you? What is it? Big, medium, small? And now we ask our team to please cancel those contracts. Amen, amen, amen. And now we ask our high self how much we are affected by the contracts from our ancestors, and that could even be our star races. Ancestors, races, that can go into all kinds of branches. What is it? Big, medium, small? Amen. And we ask our team to have those transmuted and cancelled too, for the highest good in divine harmony with the most benevolent outcomes. Amen. And many people I find in our regression work that chose the life of of poverty, of hardship. Now, how much is your prosperity affected by the design of your high self before you incarnated? Is it big, medium, or small? Amen. And now we ask our high self and our team to maybe modify this, these plans, in a way that you learn your lesson. Very fast, very light, very easy. We give them permission to do so. And also to give you a prosperity in a way so that you do not get distracted or disturbed in your path of enlightenment. There's a fine line and a fine balance, and we ask, in those cases, that the proper balance be done and adjusted, readjusted now. Amen. And now we ask our high self, how curses, to poverty or disturbances around money and wealth, have been put on us by envious people or slaves that we had, or any other subordinates. Ask now. Amen. Is it big, medium, or small? Huh? And if the lessons have been learned, we ask them to be released, and also any ghosts to be released that have been holding this in place, or be preached to by ascension teams. Amen. 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 And now we ask our high self how much our prosperity is affected by any black magic, through which our wealth is being stolen, redirected, put into somebody else's cover. Is it big, medium, or small? Thank you. And now we ask the archangels, especially Archangel Michael, to please remove those black magic spells, as they are definitely an infringement on free will. And we're asking on restitution that our due wealth that has been stolen is being restored to us in a way that is most beneficial to us. Amen, amen, amen. And now we ask our high self how much our prosperity is affected by binding spells, so that we can be taken advantage of during the different incarnations. That's like, working for very little money, or supporting a person, taking care of them, against our will in a way. Is it big, medium, or small? And now we ask our team to please remove those spells from our timeline Amen, amen, amen. They're illegal. They're illegal. Please, final, move on, clear on, continue to finish. Amen. And now we ask how much our prosperity is being affected by enemy ghosts. That would be like maybe the ghost of all slaves or subordinates, anybody that we have wronged. Is it big, medium, small? And how many? Okay, and we ask ascension teams to preach to those and bring them into heaven if possible. Now, amen. And later on you can check with the pendulum if there are left. Generally, releasing ghosts is quite complicated and you may need a private session for that. And now we ask if there are any pious ghosts that keep us from having a prosperity. Is it big, medium, or small? Amen. And if yes, how many? Okay, and now we asked again for volunteer ascension teams to preach to those pious ghosts and help them ascend into heaven. Amen, amen, amen. Again, you might need a private session. Just check with the pendulum afterwards. Now there are also entities that are not ghosts, that like to live off our energy. I call them predatory astral entity that influence us or other people to create drama, to harvest low vibration chi. Luge it is being called. And now we ask, how much is our prosperity affected by beings like this? Big, medium, small? And we ask our team, to please clear those beings out, put a restraining order on them. No more allowed. Amen, amen, amen. And we give our team, our protectors, complete permission to protect us from those beings and to defend us from those beings. Amen, amen, amen. Now we ask how much our prosperity is affected by what I call ET experiment. Just like humans study mice and see, how long they can swim in the water before they're drowned. In red light or in blue light or in green light, crazy experiments. There are also ETs that do similar social studies with it. I've seen it in work with clients many times, and many of those are quite frivolous and a big distraction on us in this important time of ascension. And so we ask our team to please, remove those experiments, to talk to those ETs, and just have them remove and bug off. Amen, 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 amen. And now we ask if there are any other blocks to our prosperity that have not been mentioned but are hindering our divine life mission. We ask now what that is. Amen. And now we ask our team to please remove those blocks so that we can focus on our divine mission. And we ask for all the support from them. Amen, amen, amen. And now we ask that we get a mindset of gratitude. That we are being programmed with being, appreciating, what is being given to us. Sometimes we're just surrounded by wealth, but we don't see it and don't enjoy it. So, the seeing this is very important to be content. So we ask this to be installed now. Amen. We also give our team permission to help us appreciate what we already have, to appreciate, to use it, and not to hoard it. If it's just cluttering up, maybe give it to somebody where it becomes really useful and we get some good karma or some more space for better stuff. Please do this now. Amen. And we also ask our team now to clear all the karma that came attached to the money, especially coins and bills and other wealth, that we absorb without deserving it. Some money comes from maybe robberies, 5 owners before, or it was earned in a predatory way by somebody, or stolen, and then this karma may just rub up on us without us deserving it. We ask it to be removed now. Amen. And of course, prosperity is about a flow of energy. So we ask our high self or team to show us, what to let go to make room for the new and more prosperous us, or prosperous environment. So first of all, let's ask, what is there in your physical environment that you should let go, that would create actually prosperity for you. We ask now. Amen. And now we ask what we should let go emotionally to create greater prosperity for us. We ask now. Amen. And now we ask what we should give up mentally to create greater prosperity in our life. Amen. And now we ask our team to make sure that the new prosperity cannot be misused. Nobody wants to land up with a $500 a day coke habit. Now, amen. And we ask our team to please fulfill and fund abundantly those desires that are aligned with our life mission. Something like affording organic food, or investing in massage or yoga classes, going to lectures or healers. This all can cost money, and that should be readily available if it's good for you. Amen. And of course, in that same vein, we ask for a blessing, of wealth and prosperity for fulfilling our divine life mission. In Hinduism it's called Dharma, for the highest good and divine harmony with the most benevolent outcomes. Amen. And now we asked our team if there's anything else that they would like to communicate with us before we leave the session. Amen. And now I will count to 3 and you will be back in waking day consciousness. All your subtle bodies will be aligned. You will remember everything you experienced and integrate it joyfully and effortlessly in your life. 1, 2, 3. Thank you back, my friends. I hope you feel lighter. I hope you feel better. I hope you will be prosperous. I encourage you to share your experiences and insights in the comments section of this video. This will be for the benefits of all. That is the idea, so other people, it's kind of like a community thing, And you can use kinesiology, or ask your pendulum, if you wonder if you still have any ghosts in you, or, if you should do this meditation again, and when to do this meditation again. And I also do personal session. If you resonate with my style, if it got you deep and you had lots of tingling or crying and other transformative experiences, in a private session, this is going to be amplified way beyond that. Okay? There are, in the show more section, there are links that will be interesting for you. And I love you. Keep smiling like an idiot. Namaste.